We in this house spend a great deal of time talking about the mission of the church, the need to reach every nation, kindred, tongue, and people with the gospel. But that mission is fundamentally dependent upon our message.
If Seventh-day Adventists are perceived as hostile, slanderers, accusers of others, and highlighters of what is wrong with others instead of focusing on what is right with us, then people will pay us back.
Ecumenism. That is the buzzword for ecumenism. Folks, cordial welcome once again to another presentation with Lighthouse Beams Ministry. I want to show a video from Pastor Mark Finley during the Spring General Conference meeting that he tried to address some important things while talking about the truth that we have, the message that we bear. This is what Pastor Mark Finley actually says. Take a listen.
I wanted to spend just a moment on the relationship of message and mission. We in this house spend a great deal of time talking about the mission of the church, the need to reach every nation, kindred, tongue, and people with the gospel. But that mission is fundamentally dependent upon our message. If there is an erosion of confidence in creation and a 7-day creation week, that impacts the Sabbath. If there's erosion of confidence in the concept of the state of the dead, that impacts our preaching on the resurrection. If there's an erosion of confidence in the concept of the urgency of Christ's coming, that impacts the signs of the times. If there's an erosion of confidence in the remnant theology, God raising up a unique divine movement of destiny, that's going to impact our mission. If we look at the history of mainline denominations, particularly in North America, they started as Bible-based. But as time went on, there was this slippage, this erosion. They've lost their sense of mission. I will never forget planting a church in one of the major cities in America. And we went to rent a non-Adventist church because we had no church. And the pastor took me around and he took me under a stairwell where they had little chairs for their Sunday school. And with a sorrowful look on his face, he said, "We used to be packed in this church, but we no longer are." They lost their message, so they lost their mission. We are a movement that's almost, if you look at 1844 to 2044, 200 years old. And as time goes on, we can lose that urgency, that commitment to be a Bible-based movement. I believe that this initiative, sure, some refinements and discussion, can help us focus on the reason why we're here, to proclaim a unique message to prepare people for the coming of Jesus.
Folks, well said. I cannot reiterate what he said more perfectly than how he just mentioned, friends. Our identity, our message, and our mission, 3 things. Our identity, our message, and our mission. We should know our identity. And together with the mission that we have to go reaching the world, yes, we have to go reach the world. But what is the message that we go to reach them with? What is the message that we're going to go take to the people to reach them? Now, I want to diverge into something that is happening within the PARL, Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Office of the General Conference. Our Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Director from the General Conference, guys, this person is not an Adventist. This person is actually a Judas within our midst. He's trying to sell us he's trying to sell this denomination away. Look on the screen. This is the year 2016, October 12, when he first went to the Vatican City for a ecumenical meeting at Vatican City. Look at the title. It says, "The Pope explains the ecumenism by blood. Los terroristas no hacen diferencia entre los cristianos." The terrorists don't distinguish between Christians. What he's trying to say is that we are not terrorists. We should come in unity. Doesn't matter what doctrines you have. We should come together in a ecumenism by blood. And look, the next screen. This way actually shake the hands of the papacy, the man of sin, the Antichrist. Folks, where in the Bible have we found that the Pope converted? Will he ever be converting? We are told from Jeremiah that a leopard cannot change his spot. And where in the Bible did it ever say that we're going to convert the Pope to become a Christian and there's not going to be a Sunday law? We know that this guy is never going to be changing. And why do we go there when the prophecy and the Bible explicitly tells us not to go? There is forbidden territory. There is going to negotiate with the devil. Friends, think about this logically. And this person is holding a sacred office from the General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Think about it. I want to show you a quotation from the Spirit of Prophecy. At least we think that why is it it's God is leading this guy. Testimonies, volume 4, page 210, paragraph 5, it says, Satan's chief work is at the headquarters of our faith. He spares no pain to corrupt men in responsible positions and to pursue them to be unfaithful to their several trusts. Friends, this person has betrayed God's trust. If he is an Adventist, but to me, what he's doing, he's a traitor. He's not one of us. He's one with Babylon. Again, why is he going back? Two cannot agree, two can walk together unless they be in agreement. What is Ganoune going to Vatican City to do? I've never seen the Bible explaining that the Pope is going to be changing from the Antichrist to a Christian. Now, look at this on the screen. Now, we're going to let him to explain his stance. He felt the need of explaining. This is actually in the same meeting that Mark Finley was talking about our mission with our message, in line with our message. This is Ganoune Diop, the Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Director of the General Conference, giving his take on what he understands to be religious liberty, fighting for religious liberty. Take a listen.
This presentation is purposed to simply make a case about the necessity of having public affairs and religious liberty, especially to mingle with people and make a case for who we are as Seventh-day Adventists in the public space. In one word, we are a blessing. In fact, Paul is similar to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or State Department in the political realm. Paul works to promote a good reputation for the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Just as a diplomat, and I can even say the diplomat of the United States, though himself a Jew, mingles with Arabs, Muslims, Christians, Hindus without sacrificing his Jewish identity, but representing the interests and reputation of the United States of America. Likewise, we at Paul represent our church, mingling with people of all beliefs without diluting or compromising our Seventh-day Adventist identity, mission, and message.
Pause. Folks, let's just clarify something. Jesus mingled with non-believers, pagans, heathens. He mingled with them. But why did he mingle? We are told from Ministry of Healing that Jesus mingled as one desiring their good. And the final outcome of his mingling was a call to follow me. He said, follow me. That was the final stage of our purpose. To mingle with them is to bring them to our truth. And that goes along with our message. Our message. Ganoune, what message have you been bringing to those people? What message have you been preaching to them? That the Pope is the Antichrist? Is that what you were telling him when you were shaking hands with him? I mean, when you go and shake hands with them, you are telling him that you are in agreement with what he does and what he says. You are in agreement with ecumenism, throwing all doctrines away and just uniting. Uniting based upon what? We are told from the Bible that we are sanctified by the truth, united by the truth. I can't imagine what was going on in that conference. But let's take a listen what he's trying to say.
Now, the following presentation also is purposed to dispel misinformations and discourage the spread of disinformation accusing the GC of compromising the Adventist message. What is really at stake is the credibility of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the public space. As we speak, there is a government that has denied the church to locate a union headquarters in their country. Why? Because we were accused of being a sect. And this was based, by the way, on the assumption that in France, the Seventh-day Adventist Church was put on the list of sects. This was not true, by the way. In fact, in France, the Seventh-day Adventist Church is officially part of the French Protestant Federation. And that doesn't mean losing our identity as Seventh-day Adventist. We actively work as per preventive diplomacy and corrective diplomacy to position our church in a favorable light before decision makers, government officials, lawmakers, legislative assemblies, and judicial entities and institutions that Seventh-day Adventists are assets to society. Now, this again does not mean at all that we are compromising the truth in trying to please people. No.
Really, we're not trying to compromise our truth. So what are you going there to do? Again, I'm asking you, sitting down. Jesus went to minister to the people. He didn't go there to be ministered by them. He didn't go to sit there so that they can give him communion service. He didn't go there so that they could preach him their false doctrines. He went to bring the light of truth to those people, folks. So what are we doing amongst them? Just passing the time? Just developing a relationship? Really? Is that what we're called to do? Wherever we go, we're supposed to evangelize, friends. Why do we have to try to take cover of our reputation? Call me a sect any day, friends. Call me a sect any day. As long as I'm standing on biblical principle. Who comes up with those principles and say, you are a sect if you do this or that? This is what actually brought great division into our church in the 1950s. That's what actually caused resulted in the book, The Adventist Questions and Doctrines, which was a divisive book in the church, which divided a lot, which caused confusion and chaos amongst our ranks, mingling with the world, worldlings, Babylon, the daughters of Babylon. Why do we have to fit on? Do they have the highest standard that we should fit into their shoes to be categorized as true Christians? Is that what we're doing? No, we have the truth. They should come to us so that we minister unto them. And even when we go to them, we're supposed to be the ones ministering. Friends, this guy is trying to defend our name. Bring on the persecution. Persecution is going to come. Are we going to be trying to brush off anything and every doctrines that we have just so that we maintain our name? I can't wrap my mind around this, friends. This is heresy at its highest, at its peak. Now, look at this. Here's what our pioneers believe. Great Controversy, page 45, paragraph 3, it says, to secure peace and unity, they were ready to make any concession consistent with fidelity to God. But they felt that even peace would be too dearly purchased. These are the people who died for the truth. To dearly purchase at the sacrifice of principle. If unity could be secured only by the compromise of truth and righteousness, then let there be difference and even war, friends. Bring on war. I do not need to defend my name. If it means bringing on wars, bring it on. Bring it on. That's what we've been told. That's what we expected. Matthew chapter 24, verse 9, ye shall be hated of all nations. This will go only to an extent, only a short run. This is as far as it goes, friends. You cannot compromise truth. Truth can never be compromised. Now,
if Seventh-day Adventists are perceived as hostile, slanderers, accusers of others, and highlighters of what is wrong with others instead of focusing on what is right with us, then people will pay us back by intentionally pushing back on any request from us. It doesn't have to be like this. Civility is good and noble. However, the fruit of the Holy Spirit manifested for the benefit of others is even better. And those are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control.
friends, ecumenism, that is the buzzword for ecumenism. Focus on what is common and good in them and what we have in common. Leave those things that are negative. Leave those things that contradicts that doctrine. Do not fight it. That actually started with the bringing in of the new logo, by the way, that flame logo, which we're not going to talk about it now, but I'm just mentioning that. But what are we trying to prove, guys? Ganoune, if you watering down the truth, who is going to preach the mark of the, who is going to show the world who the beast is, what the mark of the beast is? If you want to stay there, you can stay like that. I'm going to preach on your behalf. And if you do not join me in time, you can join the ranks of the opposition. Friends, Great Controversy, page 608. As the storm approaches, a large class who have professed faith in the third angel's message, but have not been sanctified through obedience to the truth. They have been watering down the truth, by the way. Not been sanctified through obedience to the truth. Will abandon the position, join the ranks of the opposition. The pathway has already been laid out. Friends, the pathway has already been laid out before us.
First, no person in the Department of Public Affairs and Religious Liberty can sign any document that would represent the voice of the church. The voice of the church is always in the official documents voted either at one of the followings. 1, the General Conference in session. 2, the Executive Committee. 3, the Administrative Committee or ATCOM. So when we mingle with other Christians, as in the case of the Conference of General Secretaries of Christian World Communions, or with the Global Christian Forum, there is no common declaration to adopt, no resolution to sign or implement together. No. Each
Really? So you'll have to, church official doctrines are approved at session, GC session, EXCOM and ADCOM. That is where the voice of the church is at, right? Good point. Now let me ask you, so whose voice did you represent when you went to the Vatican City? Whose voice did you represent when you are present in all the World Council of Churches meeting? Whose voice did you represent when you actually went to Geneva, Switzerland, to put an end to Protestantism with the Catholics and Lutheran? I'm going to show you that he did that. Whose voice do you represent when you go to those meetings? Friends, let me tell you this. One fine day, they will tell us, who are these group of people trying to fight against us? Adventists? Their representative actually is with us. Those people are descendants. Get them and imprison them. That is how powerful Ganoune Diop'S office is. But yet he does not acknowledge and recognizes the position he's sitting on. And he's profaning the name of the Lord in the position that he's sitting in. You know what the spirit, the general spirit that pervades those ecumenical gatherings? I'm going to show you. This is from late Tony Palmer. This is what he said. And this is in a ecumenical gathering. Listen to it.
Brothers and sisters, Luther's protest is over. Is yours. So The protest has been over for 15 years. And I get a bit cheeky here, because I challenge my Protestant pastor friends. If there is no more protest, how can there be a Protestant church? Maybe
Right?
now we're all Catholics again.
We're now all Catholics again. Let's all come together in one big ecumenical family. No more protest. The protest is over. The protest is over. That is what Ganoune Diop believed. That is why he went to the Vatican. That is why he went to put an end to Protestantism on behalf of the Adventist Church. Look at the screen. I'm going to show you right now. This is the joint Catholic and Lutheran commemoration for the Reformation. They celebrated 500 years of Protestantism since Luther's 95 Theses to the Doors of Württemberg. October 30, 2016, Ganoune Diop went to Switzerland, where they actually put an end to ecumenism. Amongst all the other delegates that went there, they want to apologize. The Catholics and the Lutheran came together, shaking hands, trying to say that the protest is over. The protest is over. Whatever denomination are in accordance with us or in unity with us or share the same sentiments, come on and join us. Look at the people that are in the screen. Next slide. Pope Francis and then all the other Lutheran delegates. And then there were also some other denominations that were in one accord with them, that went to give the name to show that they are in one accord with them. What were they doing? Putting an end to Protestantism. Bye-bye. There is no protest anymore. Look at the name on the further right. Pastor or Dr. Ganoune Diop. Friends, a traitor amongst our midst. Judas amongst our midst. Friends, this is so serious. This is so serious. Can you imagine that? Folks, this is so wrong. This cannot be done. This is the remnant church of God. Mark Finley, while you were preaching while you were sharing about our message, what is this guy doing? We have to talk to this person. Ted Wilson, what is this guy doing at the Vatican City? What are we doing when we see these apostasies amongst our own ranks? This person should be removed. Folks, if you like the video and want to see the full video, click here. If you want to see another video just like that, click here. And do not forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated.